common challenge with Google Analytics is dealing with internal traffic, those visits from your own team, company, or agency that clutter up your true data. Now, we all know how frustrating sometimes internal traffic data can be because it's always interfering and mixed with our real data. I know I have been in situations with my clients where internal traffic had us all confused on a newly launched campaign. To be honest, traffic filtering through IP addresses that's currently offered by Google Analytics is just kind of lame, particularly when we have teams working remotely. They are always on the move, and not to mention that almost every company today works with an agency or freelancers. So it's very, very difficult to get all these IP addresses from all the people that are working in the company together and add them to your Google Analytics account. So we came up with this extension that your team members can now use to have their traffic data automatically filtered. So let's go ahead and check how this all works. Once you've downloaded the extension, go ahead and click on the icon and then on the options link right here. The extension settings page will open up and you will see a little form. The first field is where you will add all the domains that you'd like to filter the traffic for. It would be your company's domain URL most likely. If you work for multiple clients like me and don't want traffic generated by you to get included in GA reports, then just add all the domains separated by a comma. The other field of the form helps you add exception URLs to domains you added in the previous field. So when you add a domain, by default, all pages under those domains will be considered for filtering. But this field right here helps you add a URL that would allow your visits to pass through the gate without a check like regular traffic. Well, this is sometimes useful when you want to test a page and see if the data is coming through correctly. But if you don't have an exception, go ahead and leave it blank. That's totally fine. Now click on save and that's it, you are done. But before you close the video, let's go ahead and see what happens now when I go to my company website. So when I type in my URL, you can see that a parameter gets appended at the end of the URL. This is what our extension does. It will append this parameter to all the URLs of all the domains you entered in the extension settings. Let's just try and navigate to another page. And there you go, you see the parameter added again. Now this parameter tells Google Analytics that this traffic that I just generated is internal and it should be filtered out. If you are the website admin or marketing manager of your team, you still have to take a couple of extra steps. But for the rest of the company, that's all you have to do. Download the extension, add your URL in the extension settings, and save. And then you can just relax and not worry about your visits skewing the real data. If you are the website admin and manager, please stay along as we have to make a couple of adjustments to our Google Tag Manager account and look at our Google Analytics account. If you are using Google Tag Manager account to fire GA events, let's go ahead and log into it. Here you're going to create a URL variable that captures the parameter our extension is passing into the URL. So let's go ahead and create a variable. I am going to call it traffic type value, but you can of course call it anything, it doesn't really matter. We'll choose the URL variable. Component type is query, and query key is the parameter our extension appends, which is traffic_type. Go ahead and save. And let's now make one more change. This change is made to the GA4 event settings variable. All we have to do is add an event parameter that will be sent with all the events when it has a value. The event parameter would be, yes, you guessed it, traffic_type. And under value, we'll add the variable we just created. Click save. Go ahead and publish your container. Now let's head over to Google Analytics. Now in your Google Analytics account, this is my test property. What we do is we go to the admin and we go to data collection modification, under which we have data filters. In the data filters section, you will see that there's already a filter which is in place by Google Analytics by default. And basically, we don't have to do anything, because what our extension is doing is our extension is using the exact same values as this data filter here, right? So if you click on that, you will see that internal traffic, this is the data filter name, internal traffic. And here we have the parameter name. So if any event that comes with a parameter name with a value of internal, that will be categorized as internal traffic. That's all it says. So basically, you don't have to really do anything here. It's already in place by default. However, the only thing to note is that this filter is currently under testing state. So by default, they give you a testing state, but you got to test it if it's working for you. And when you are confident that it's really working for you, then you can go ahead and activate this filter. What's the difference between the two? Testing means that the traffic would still go into your account, but the active filter will just block the traffic entirely from coming into your account. So you will not see any traffic in the reports at all. However, with testing, you will still see the traffic. The only difference is that you have an extra dimension that you can add to your report if you want to just look at all the test traffic that you are generating. So let's go ahead and look at our test traffic for a second. So I have created this simple report that just counts the number of events that have happened on a certain date. What we're going to do is we'll add the dimension here first, and we will look for the test data filter name, right? So this is the dimension that basically identifies whether the traffic is internal or not. You import that dimension, and what you're going to do is you'll just drop this dimension in the rows, and you will see that you have 3 different values. So you have dev traffic. This is another filter that my site has, so don't worry about that. This is the internal traffic. So the internal traffic filter is in play, and I can confirm it from this report here that I am getting internal traffic. And so what I can do is I can go ahead into the admin and just activate my filter. And that's it. These are the 2 steps for Google Tag Manager and Analytics that a manager has to take. However, for the rest of you who are just using the extension, of course, everybody in the team has to download the extension in order for this to work, and in order for Google Analytics to know that a traffic is coming from internal source. So just go ahead and download the extension, set up your URLs in the URL settings area in the extension options, and that's it. That's all you have to do. I'd like to also point out our documentation for you. Although it's extremely simple to use and quite intuitive, if you have doubts, go ahead and check out the documentation page here. And if that doesn't solve it either, then feel free to contact us on our dedicated support page. We'll be happy to help you. So download the extension and ask your employees and teammates to do the same, so all your internal traffic is taken care of once and for all. Thank you.